Chelsea end of season awards. We've got some good categories.
We've got some great categories. Do you know, can we start off with one thing? I don't want to give the awards to just the same person. Because let's be honest.
Who have you got in mind?
Let's be honest.
We haven't had a standout player this season, have we?
Do you know what?
We haven't had a little Englishman to be the first man to hit 30-plus goal involvements in a Premier League season since Frank Lampard or Harry Kane, have we?
Petrovic has been pretty good this year, mate.
Petrovic has been good.
Fair play
Not
to
English,
you.
though.
Fair play to you for shouting him. Yeah.
Look, yeah.
Let's start with best
Should
player.
we prerequisite this?
Oh,
You like that?
disgusting.
Disgusting.
You made me unwell. Yeah, let's go for it. I think the best player.
Well, no.
Drum roll.
Sounds like I'm having a bash. Right. The answer to every category, more or less, is Cole Palmer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So can we give it to Cole Palmer when it needs to be given to him, but discuss the other alternatives? Otherwise, we're just going to have an end-of-season award show that just says Palmer, 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 Palmer. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
So
100%.
best player.
Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
I think the other people that I think were in the running for this, for me, and you can tell me if you agree with this, Caicedo, Jackson, and Gallagher were the ones that I was thinking of. Anyone else?
Gusto.
I don't think Gusto played enough to be in this category.
Well, he must have played 30 games.
I don't think he did, you know. I think it was a bit less than that.
Was it really?
At the end of the season, yeah. Remember, we played a lot of Chaloba at right back. So for me, I think obviously Cole Palmer is the option. I actually had Caicedo actually number 2 for this one.
I also had Caicedo. So, just so you're keeping up with us, we're going Cole Palmer, but we're saying the number 2 to him has been Moises Caicedo.
Yeah.
Can you think for me, off the top of your head, if we disregard the sort of horror show debut he had where he played 20 minutes or something at Upton Park against West Ham, if we disregard that, and I want an honest opinion here because you might be able to think of one, but I'm scratching my head and I can't think of any. Can you think of a bad performance from Caicedo this season?
The only other one that sprung to mind was that pass. I don't know if I think it was Buddy Shield that played the pass, but Caicedo was the one that moved in field.
I remember the pass.
Who was that
that
against?
I can't remember.
Was it Arsenal? No.
No.
I can't, but basically that cost us the game, I think, that pass. It was Badiashile that did the incorrect pass, but the movement by Caicedo. But mate, as performances go, I can't remember really bad performances on the whole of Caicedo. And do you know what? He's got better and better.
That's the main thing.
He's just ridiculous.
He's leveled up. He's got so much better.
Yeah.
The last game of the season...
don't speak too much about this.
Mate.
Because it might be coming up later on.
It will come up. And I'm not even going to talk about the goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But...
Filthy.
Absolutely disgusting.
Just pure. I've never thought I'd compare Moises Caicedo and Charlie Adam, but in that moment I did.
Oh, mate, I've always compared them too.
Yeah.
I've always compared them.
Do you think it's harsh that we're not putting Gallagher in 2? Because Gallagher has had a fucking good year.
I think there's categories that Gallagher can pick up. I think he'll pick up a few awards along the way. Gallagher's been unreal. Gallagher's been absolutely brilliant. And when we speak about how good Moises Caicedo has been, we would also have to give massive credit to Conor Gallagher for bringing him to life, for being able to get that version of Moises Caicedo out of him, because like it or not, we weren't seeing the exact same Caicedo when he was paired with Enzo. I still think we're seeing a very decent Caicedo.
Very decent.
But I think we're only seeing maybe 50% of the layers of his game that we've now seen. And since having Gallagher there next to him, I think we're actually seeing a lot more of not only, you know, the Caicedo that's busy, that gets stuck in, that gets in amongst it, but we're also seeing a creative Caicedo who can pierce through the lines with creative balls that, you know, the attacking players can run onto and set things up. So I think that we're seeing a lot of Caicedo. I would put Caicedo as my player of the season, if not Cole Palmer, but I'd want to give massive honourable mentions to Malo Gusto and Conor Gallagher, respectively. Jackson's a man I've loved. Jackson's a man I'm high on. Very, very high on. But I think we can't be wishy-washy with this list. No. We've got to be harsh. And I think that Jackson's contributions have been brilliant, just short of what Malo Gusto and Conor Gallagher have delivered for me. And for me, Caicedo, the next best man. But the man that obviously wins this award is Cole Palmer. Best young player. It's
basically half the squad.
It's obvious. Yeah. Oh, how are we going to pick? Again, it's Cole Palmer. But let's not go with Cole Palmer on this. So I am gonna go with a couple of are these rogue? Because here's how I'm gonna do this one. Usually, when you do best young player, you go what? Anyone under the age of 25?
Yeah.
Well, they're all fucking under the age of 25.
Yeah.
Even
I think it goes sub 20.
Do you know? Like, I know me and you know this, yeah. But do you know what will shock a lot of people?
Go on.
Trevor Chalobah's age.
Yes.
24 years old.
He's so young.
Fucking young.
Yeah.
Like, that is well young. And when we're talking about age, by the way, and we talk about Nicholas Jackson, 22 years old. I don't know. Just maybe look. I'm not going to do it now, but maybe get on your laptop yourself and just have a look at what Thierry Henry was doing at 21 years old. I don't know.
Was it?
Maybe I'm not saying this, but just maybe have a look at one Cristiano Ronaldo's Premier League goal contributions at 22 years. Honestly, I'm not insinuating anything, am I?
What was the fact about Thierry Henry and outscoring seasons? Was it Cole Palmer that outscored 6 out of 10 of Thierry Henry's seasons in the Premier League in his first debut season?
No, but remember,
at Chelsea,
remember though, Thierry Henry went invincible, didn't he?
Oh yeah, God, yeah, that invincible season was unreal. Yeah. Only
didn't
12
lose a
draws.
game all season, did he?
Only 12 draws.
And the 6 losses they lost that season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you tell me whose invincible season was better, Leverkusen's or Arsenal's, because Leverkusen lost 1 game.
A final.
And Arsenal lost 6 games.
What games were they? What did they lose in? The cups.
Well, do I need to remind you of one man called Wayne Bridge?
Was it? That was the Champions League, was it?
Champions League.
Oh, fuck.
And you know what I always say about that semi-final? It wasn't a semi-final, it was the quarters. Because the semis, we got knocked out by Monaco.
Oh, God, that was bad. Was that who was the striker at that time?
Fernando Morientes.
Morientes, I was going to say Morientes.
Hated him, wanted him brought
He was
in. No,
fucking
I wanted
good.
him. I wanted him. Short shelf life, Fernando Morientes.
Very
what did he
much
ever
so.
go on to do?
Mate, that kit that they had, by the way, that Monaco kit was
Lovely.
fucking decent.
Lovely.
Do you know what? We've had a good relationship with Monaco. We've stolen a few players from them.
There you
Falcao.
go. There you go.
Legends.
They've stolen a few from
Badia
us.
Shield.
Cesc Fabregas.
Says Fabregas, yeah.
Ah.
I'd go and live in Monaco.
Any other
to be
Monaco
fair.
player? Disasi played for
The
Monaco.
Sassy was Monaco as well.
Have we ever
yeah.
had another Monaco player? But before we get into all that, I want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsors, Manscaped. Summer is fast approaching, and if you want to look as good and as well groomed as I know you've been thinking I look, you need to head to Manscaped. And the good news keeps on coming because there is a link in the description to this video. Once you hit that link, you need to use the discount code JOEYKNIGHT. That will get you 20% off plus free shipping. And my go-to with Manscaped has and always will be the Performance Package 5.0. Now, I know you guys watch for the Chelsea content, but let's have it right. You also watch for the facial hair. You like the way it's groomed. You like the way the tash just cuts off over the lip. And how do I do that? It's all in the Performance Package, my friend. First up in the Performance Package is the Lawn Mower 5.0. That is your go-to for all your body hairs. And the best news is it is waterproof. So not only can you have a sing in the shower, you can now have a shave in the shower. But what about those places that are a little bit harder to get to? I am talking the nostrils. I am talking the ears. Well, for that, you have the Weed Whacker 2.0. And after we use that, we are going to dip back into the Performance Package and pull out the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion, which means you can say goodbye to your chafing because this will keep you smooth and fresh all day. Not only that, but the Performance Package 5.0 also comes with a complimentary pair of lovely Manscaped boxers. Here's what you need to do. Hit the link in the description. It's going to take you to the Manscaped website. Once you are at a checkout, put in my discount code JOEYKNIGHT for 20% off and free shipping. It does not get better than that. So make sure this summer you are well groomed and you are groomed by Manscaped.
We must have had like a midfielder, like Juan Sebastian Fron kind of vibe. I'm not saying he played for them.
Yeah, like Makaleli when he's young or something.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other Monaco. Tell us in the comments section who else from Monaco. I'd say who once played for Monaco. Not that we ever had him, but Gianmartino.
Yeah.
Did he play for Monaco?
He did, yeah. They were a
he
good
did.
team.
Okay, so best young player. I am going to go with the fact that this needs to be a player. Most squads would name a player under the age of 24. Am I right?
I personally have got to go under 20.
Under 21.
Under 20.
Under 20?
Yeah, because under 21, there's still players that are playing week in, week out, first team level for us.
Can I give you two that aren't going to make this, but I think really need honourable mentions?
Go on.
Right, okay. I fly the flag for Kane Chukwuemeka all the time. I think the boy's fucking brilliant.
He hasn't played.
He hasn't played.
Yeah.
It's a good goal against Leicester, though, wasn't it?
Good goal against West Ham.
Great goal against Leicester, though.
Yeah,
that was him
100%.
and Palmer on fire. They were cooking in that match, mate.
Yeah.
And all right, he hasn't played, but when he has played, I thought he's looked really good.
Agreed.
Another player who I don't want to say hasn't played. He's probably played about a fifth of the game time for us this season, but I honestly have to pinch myself and remind myself that this boy's 19 when he plays, because I actually think he's fucking brilliant, and I think he's got a very, very mature head on young shoulders, and I think had it not been for the injury, I think Chelsea fans would be surprised at how much we'd have seen this boy this season, and that is Ugochukwu.
Wow.
I'm not
so
putting him as young player of the
said,
season. I'm not putting him as him. But
he
I'm just saying
deserves some shout out.
He's been good.
Mate,
he's been really good.
Well,
you know who he reminds me of?
Go on, who?
You know when Badia Shill, obviously different position, but you know when Badia Shill first came in and he just seamlessly just fitted in like a glove. I feel like that's what Ugochukwu was like. But obviously, you know, maybe Chelsea fans are gonna go, yeah, Joey's not talking too much shit there, but non-Chelsea fans will say who?
Yeah.
Ugochukwu, who?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'd go for Alfie Gilchrist.
I really like the Alfie Gilchrist shout. I think he conducts himself so well. And do you know what? That moment, can't remember who it was who he scored against, but there was a moment when he scored that unbelievable right-footed shot from outside the area pretty much. Who was that against? Can you remember? Everton. And the celebration, I was there as well.
Don't ever ask me about second half goals, though.
Yeah. The too many balty pies, that is.
It's just the balty pies.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with all the singers.
Yeah. That celebration, in a weird way, it brings a tears to your eye, doesn't it? In a weird way, because he cares so much about Chelsea, and it was one of those celebrations where he didn't quite know what to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, he scores the goal, he doesn't know whether to do the knee slide, like the fucking fist bump, like run into the crowd. So I really like that, and I love Alfie. For me, mate, I think you've omitted a really obvious one actually, and I think it's Malagusto. At the start of the season, I think he was 19, and I think he turned 20. I think for me, it's Malagusto, and I think for a guy of his age, you're talking about someone who's very mature for his age, someone who looks silky, who's slotted straight into the team. I can't think of anyone better than him, and for him to be in your team of the season, he wouldn't have been in a player of the season. He wouldn't have been in my player of the season, but for me, best young player, absolutely. Right, I think
he's been absolutely unreal, and in the games that I've seen him, I believe that he was sent off against Aston Villa. I didn't think it was a fair sending off, but maybe because of that, you could say it was a bad game. Apart from that, I did see Malo Gusto have a bad game. I believe it was against Leeds. But apart from that...
I mean, we were all shitting
Yeah, exactly. We were shitting that game. Hell. But apart from that, every single time I have seen Malo Gusto, it has been absolutely unreal.
Immense.
And he's been so good. And even when we've seen him moved over at left back at times, he's been immense.
Mate, we're talking about fitting him in over Reece James.
Exactly. And this is the other thing here. I feel like sometimes you have got to look at the things that maybe we're not now worrying about, and you've got to real put some emphasis on that, because Reece James being unavailable for 3 seasons now has been a huge worry, a huge negative impact, and a cloud over Chelsea Football Club. And if Malo Gusto's fit, and that is an if, because he comes with his injury issues as well, you know, but if Malo Gusto's fit and available, I don't think we worry too much. And I think that pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I really rate him. I think he wins this award by a country mile, to be honest with you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, again, best young player, I would go Cole Palmer, but we're giving it to Malo Gusto there. Best academy player. Now, you think, I can tell you're thinking, I'm going to go, Gilchrist here. I get it.
Gilchrist,
but remember, academy
Yeah.
does not necessarily mean young. So for me, it's my boy.
Conor Gallagher.
No. Who's my other boy? Trevor with a H. Trevor Chalobah.
Trevor. What a player. Do you know what's funny?
Do you know why they do that?
Because he's so good.
Because he gets on the ball, you go, Trev, and then he hits one in like that goal against Palace. You go, oh!
He scored
Trevor.
some fucking good goals for us, to be fair.
Trevor.
Do you know what this reminds me of, by
Did
the
you
way?
ever watch Kiddo?
Slight as... Oh, yeah. Trevor.
He was cool. He was called Trevor.
That was good.
Trevor. Melika Gundrila.
Yeah. They were great films, they were.
They were great films.
I
But
love
I tell
those
you what,
films.
not really the sort of film that me at 11 years old should be watching, because I remember I went to the cinema, I watched it, come out the cinema and just thought, I just want to start slicing people.
You
get
just want to
really,
be friends
really
with people.
deep into this
cuddling
road
people.
life. Yeah.
You were completely going into the character. I can completely imagine
5
that.
foot nothing,
They
a couple
haven't-
of slits in the eyebrows.
Oh, God. They haven't aged well, those films.
No.
They don't...
Was you ever like a bit of a rude boy or not
Absolutely not, mate.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, me neither.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Well, I was going to tell you about Trevor.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny, mate? Speaking of the Chalobahs, I remember seeing his brother Nat playing for us,
Daniel, yeah.
and I remember comparing him to RLC Ruben, and I thought that Nat was the better player. And how wrong we were about that, by the way. I really do remember that. Do you know what?
What did he go on to do?
He went and played
Championship, innit?
He played for Watford for a long time. I don't know if he's still at Watford.
Barnsley or someone?
I don't know. He was at Watford for a long time. Good
He's a
player at
midfielder,
Watford.
isn't he?
Well, he moved into midfield.
Right.
He moved into midfield. DM. Yeah. Almost like a John Obi Mikel kind of role.
Mate, I think Trev could play midfield.
Trev has played midfield.
He could play anywhere.
He could.
Yeah.
Mate, Trev could play right wing. Unbelievable player he is, and I think for me, I really like that as an academy player. I actually had him down in the next category, which is unsung hero. I think he deserved that as well.
Right.
But if you're going for me for academy player, it has to be Gallagher.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Fair enough.
I think you have to go for that.
Well, no, I don't have to.
Question. Oh, another one that we should mention, an academy player. You're going to find this insane. Ian Matson.
I don't find it insane. I get it, but
He's in a Champions League final.
mate, if we give it to Ian Matson, like we can't do that.
He's in the Champions League final. He could win the Champions League.
He's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Conor Gallagher, for me, it has to be.
Well, we're gonna have to flip a coin.
Why don't we let the comments say who you want to be?
There's no
the
graphic
academy
on the
players.
screen for this one, so
Yeah.
you lot let us know.
Yeah.
Unsung hero. You ready?
Yeah, go on.
Petrovic.
I really rate that.
Mm.
I think he's been solid. I had a few other options for you.
Mm-hmm.
I had Trev in that category. I think, again, he hasn't really ever got the plaudits he deserves. I think he absolutely does deserve a shout out in this. He never gets any other credit. He was absolutely exquisite. He's played on the right, played in the middle, looked solid in every position, never let us down, never made a mistake. We're unbeaten when Trev plays. We're unbeaten.
Oh my God. We're
This
gonna
season.
have to start calling him Trodry.
Trodry, exactly. The other one I had two actually more on this. Badishil.
No.
And the other one, maybe this is unfairly put in this
Not
category.
because I don't like you, but just no.
Yeah.
Not enough.
What about this? Is he too sung to be unsung hero? Because he has got a lot of songs for him. Thiago Silva.
He is sung.
He never gets the credit though.
He is sung. We spend 30% of a match singing about him.
We do, but is that not the ironic part in that he's a central defender?
No,
he's never
Josh.
really put a foot wrong.
Josh, the title of it is Unsung.
And we do sing a
We
lot of
sing
songs.
about him
Yeah,
constantly.
We do. All right.
Petrovic for me.
Petrovic I rate.
Now let me
I
just
think Trev is harsh.
tell you, right?
Yeah.
No, because I got Trev as best academy player, so I think Trev's fucking brilliant. I love Trev. But Petrovic, right? He came in, he got a lot of plaudits. Then all of a sudden, people started there was a narrative running. Oh, is he any better than Sanchez? Like I just said just now, don't always focus on what happens, and sometimes note what doesn't happen. And if you do not believe that Petrovic has instilled a stability and a confidence amongst that backline, then you honestly don't know what you're watching.
Yeah.
Also, look at the turn in form, right? I'm not saying Petrovic is fully responsible for the turn in form, but Petrovic came into that team around the time of that Wolves game when all of a sudden our form started to improve. After that, we lost one league match. Did Petrovic maybe once he had settled in a little bit, make a few, I'm not even going to say howlers, but make a few mistakes here and there. Yeah, probably did. But David Breyer's just finished the season second. And I can count more that he made.
Fucking loads of that he's done. Absolutely.
There you go.
I mean, there was that one where he palmed it into the back of the net, wasn't it? That was the last minute goal. Was that the Burnley game?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
No, he's been brilliant. And you know what? You're so right, though. He never gets any credit. And a lot of people say he's not good with his feet. I don't really give a fuck. He's a very good option for us. I rate
He's
it.
very good. Very good.
I like that shout. Let's go Petrovic.
I think the next one's so easy.
Go on.
Like, I don't even know if it needs a conversation.
Yeah.
Most improved.
It's obvious.
Cucurella.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I think you do have to give it to him.
Who would be the runner up for most improved? Because I'll tell you where a lot of people will be going with this in their head. They'll be going with it with Conor Gallagher. I think a lot of people would be thinking.
I didn't have it. I've got two other options. I don't. Neither of them you mentioned so far. I had Caicedo.
Yeah, Caicedo's most improved.
Well, come on. Start of the season, calamitous. And I think for me, it's less so about how awful he was, and it's more so about how good he's become. Like, I think he's now the key part of our midfield. And I feel like he is almost like, he's got like an aura of Kante-esque to him now, where you have to go, he's so good. Okay. So I think, in a weird way, mate, when we're talking about player of the season, like, he's one of our best players now, Caicedo. So, and I don't think at the start of the season, any of us were saying he's going to be our best player. So for me, that's an improvement.
Yep. Fair
and then
points.
The other option I had was Petrovic, because again, started number 2, come through, but we've just given him an award. But I think he's good. So I think we do just have to go Cucurella.
Fair points. However, when we were splashing out 100+ million on Caicedo, me and you were sat on this sofa having conversations about why Cucurella needs to go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
And we are hesitant, very hesitant, I would say, on really having that stance on any Chelsea players. Like, can you think of many who actually get game time? Say, yes, of course, we think, what's the boy that's earning loads of money?
Malang Sarr.
Of course, we think Malang Sarr should go. Of course, we think that Raheem Sterling should probably go, etc. But we're not like, right, he has got to go. He will never be Chelsea level. And I, in my heart, thought that this guy will never be Chelsea level.
Seriously?
I seriously thought he will never be Chelsea level. I honestly thought he would never be Chelsea level. And now I look at him and I'm like, mate, you're fucking good. You are good.
He's your
man.
favourite player now.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love him.
yeah.
I love him. We'll get him on the podcast one day.
Yeah, I love that.
But I tell you what, right? In his first season at Chelsea, I saw him have one good game. And that was against Borussia Dortmund at home in the Champions League. He had a fairly decent game. I also think the match that he got brought down by Romero, he was quite good against Spurs. But that's it. The rest was a shit show. Yeah. He was. I don't want to go over old ground here, and I don't want to rip the plaster off an old wound. But he was fucking rubbish in that first season. No,
he
harsh?
was. No, what? Rubbish is harsh, but he definitely wasn't good enough.
He was rubbish, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
He was rubbish. And what is he now?
I mean, exquisite. Some of one of our best players by a mile.
Potpourri.
He. If you think about it, he's one of the first names on team sheet right now.
Yeah.
Says you everything you need to know. What a legend.
Yeah.
Never cut your hair.
I've just thought of one we could add. Oh, is it harsh? Most improved. Least improved?
Least improved. What, the player that's regressed the most? Who are you thinking? Are you thinking Enzo?
Uncomfortable conversation. Has he regressed?
I don't think. No, he hasn't, because I think that's so harsh because of the injury. It's so easy for people to go, oh yeah, Enzo's done fuck all. Mate, he was playing with a pretty bad injury for a long time because we needed him. It wasn't because he wanted to play. It was because we needed someone. By the way,
Joey did get a hernia in Friends.
Oh yeah, you were. I saw the comments. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, you questioned yourself. Never always back yourself, Joey. That's the
always
lesson.
back my knowledge of friends.
Yeah,
go on, give me any friends question now. I'll tell you the answer. Hard as you want. Make it
what
hard.
Was when in the rhyme? What was the day that Joey missed out to remember the days of the week?
Monday, one day. Tuesday, 2 day. Wednesday, what day?
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. You see, you knew the quote. You knew exactly what I was talking about.
Least improved. Who are you going for?
Mate, I'm shocked that you remember that.
Really?
I thought I was going to stump you with that one. Yeah.
Go on, give me another.
What airline did Rachel fly with when Ross was trying to follow her?
I know the episode because he goes, "Did she get off the plane?" And then she's at the door and goes, "Get off the
To be
plane."
honest with you, Joey, I don't even know if there was any branding.
United Airlines, probably.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's any
Tell you who
branding.
was on the plane next to her?
Go on.
Hugh, whatever his name is.
Hugh Grant?
Nah, not him. Hugh, the other Hugh.
Hugh Wizzy?
Nah. Nah, you know the fellow who plays Percy in Blackadder, and he's like Stuart Little's dad, and he then went on to be in that TV series
Was he in
House. House, yeah.
I don't
He's
know his
Hugh
surname. I
Sang,
don't know
isn't
his
he?
I don't
Hugh
know.
Laurie?
Hugh Laurie.
Is that
Hugh
him?
Laurie,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, he was on a plane next to her.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck friends. Not my friends. Big up my
don't
friends.
fuck friends.
No.
I mean,
Well,
Friends with Benefits.
Friends with Benefits, maybe. Good
Yeah,
movie.
we've all been there.
Least improved. You got to give me a name.
I think it has to be Enzo in terms of regression. I can't think of any other player that has regressed more this season in terms of their reputation.
No one close to home.
No.
No.
I can't think of anyone, Joe.
Blonde hair,
I
close to
can't think of
time.
anyone. I
Hasn't
can't
really
think of
kicked
anyone
on.
Eastern European. I can't think of anyone. Mudryk hasn't regressed.
I'll give you it. I've got the answer.
Go on.
Brower.
Oh, fuck me. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Big up,
People
Brower,
on
though.
loan.
We do really like Brower.
I really hope he has
like
a really
Brower.
successful career. He's not done it for Chelsea.
Right, okay, let's move on to worst moment of the season.
I don't think there have been that many, have there? Worst moments? Can't really think of any. It's been a pretty good season, hasn't it, actually?
All right, if it's not the obvious, if it's not the 5-0, what would you say?
Right, I've got a few options here.
God,
Right, let me pull this out. I've
we
actually
go.
got my iPad here. That's how fucking serious this one is. Wolves at home.
Home,
Wolves at home.
Wolves away.
Wolves away, even worse. Christmas Eve.
Yeah, firstly, ruined Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, that's the worst. Well, I can't say this on camera. In case our younger viewers don't know about the old Santa.
Don't say
debacle
that.
yet.
Don't say that.
But it's the worst Christmas since I found out
Yeah.
someone doesn't exist. No, but like the thing is, yeah, the game got moved to Christmas Eve. I think it was the first game that had been played on Christmas Eve in 16 years, 17 years or something like that. Public transport, nope. Chelsea put on a couple of coaches or something, but, you know, that's the least they can do. We rocked up there. We were beat, but this is the difference, yeah? You know when they came to Stamford Bridge, beat by the better team, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We were. I think that's fair.
When we went to Molineux, we weren't beat by the better team.
No.
Well,
I mean,
well,
technically they are the better team.
no, but you remember.
I mean, we lost.
You remember what happened? Sterling going through on goal, didn't you? All he needs to do is square it to Palmer. No.
That's why we
No
love
such
Sterling so much.
Exactly.
That's why we care about him.
Exactly.
What a player.
Yeah.
That was a bad moment, wasn't it?
It was a bad moment. For me, it was an awful moment because for me as well, it sort of confined me to believing that the season was over. So by the time they beat us at Stamford Bridge, it was a sinking ship.
Yeah.
Lost hope.
Yeah.
Didn't really even care as much.
That was a big punch out moment, that was.
It was a big potch out moment. But then do you know what does it for me? With every with every cloud has a silver lining. And with that cloud there, that was the silver lining. That was the catalyst for a run of form we went on. Yeah, had a lot of draws in there, but we only lost one game after that. So I wouldn't say that. I'd say Wolves away, but the obvious one is...
I've got one that
Arsenal.
I think might be worse than the Arsenal one.
Mm-hmm.
What about the penalty squabble? That moment for me
That was a bad moment.
was a really horrendous moment, especially for the squads. Like, look, we know that the Arsenal one is bad, but do you know what? That penalty moment, I thought it was all going to fall apart. I thought Poch hadn't been in control of the players. I thought the players were falling out. I thought Madueke showed his sort of like mental problem that we're worried about. Jackson as well didn't cover himself in glory. He was
It
doing
seemed
well
like they
at
were
that
teaming
time.
up on Cole Palmer, Jacko and Madueke.
And it didn't
at
make
that.
sense. And then they didn't celebrate together. That was mate, honestly, if the Arsenal result hadn't happened, that would have been the worst one by a mile.
We are a bunch of kids. I know you haven't got your own one yet, but
Not yet, mate. Not that I know of.
not well. That's it. Not that you know of. I could have a load of little Spanish kids running around somewhere or something like that. All the lads
of
on
Thai
days I
kids
went
as well.
on. Yeah, there you go. I don't think lady boys can have kids. No. Who was I going with this? Right.
That's proper throwing you the lady boys.
Yeah.
You keep dreaming of lady boys. It's pretty obvious.
I'm only human. We have got a category called Biggest Idiot. And I think that the worst moment that you suggested between Madueke Palmer and Jackson could go in biggest idiot.
Okay. Biggest idiots.
Biggest idiots. For me,
it's Arsenal.
You know what else was? It is Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
But another bad one. Let's move on from this because, but Forest at home, that was a bad one.
Yeah, let's not worry about I mean, honestly, I had 6 more options.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Cut that one short. Let's move on to a happier subject. Best moment.
Do you know what, mate? This is the easiest one for me, actually. Because I was at Stamford Bridge. I was in my seat in the East Upper. And there was a certain game in which we won in the last minute. And it's funny, actually, because my old man, he loves taking footage of, the goals and the celebrations. He was
Big up Kev.
Big up Kev. And he's an avid watcher of the channel, and he
watcher.
fucking loves messaging you
I've got to tell you something, though. He was putch out.
Yeah, he was. He's been putch out the whole time. He sent me a text message.
I can't believe when he texted me that.
Yeah. He sent me a text where it said, "I've never been happier."
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah, so he got some footage of me, and it panned over, and I was teary-eyed in that moment. It meant so much, the Cole Palmer goal.
Against Man United.
It did.
Yeah.
It meant so much. When that goal went in, because first of all, it looked like we were losing. Mason Mount comes on, he's giving it the big one. Picks a fight with Enzo, and then...
He wasn't really giving it the big one, he was playing shit.
No, as in, he was giving it to the big one to all the boys.
Yeah,
He's giving it a big one to Enzo.
We can all give it the big one, mate.
But then what happens?
Yeah.
And then, like, let's be honest, mate. If that finishes 3-2, Poch is gone immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the season was unravelling. And yet, the way it finished was the complete opposite of that. And we were so happy. And that was, for me, the emotion was the relief of it. Do you know what I mean?
When we had showed all these mental lapses in concentration, immaturity in our game management, the end of that Man United game put a lot of that right, because even to get the goal, when we won the penalty and we had the goal and whatnot, I'll tell you what, it's funny, isn't it? Last ditch penalty, no one was arguing over that one. They were very happy to let Cole Palmer take that penalty, weren't they? But the Chelsea of old, or the Chelsea of prior this season, I should say, would have probably drawn it, maybe conceded another. So to show the grit and the mental determination and maturity to go, listen, the whistle ain't blown and we keep going till the fat lady sings.
There were so many moments in that. Even in that one thing, Enzo running over, taking the corner quickly, Cole Palmer drifting out to then get the shot, Madueke's run to then get brought down for the penalty. There were so many like real top class performances from, as you say, young kids that we didn't really rate. That for me, that was the obvious one. I couldn't really think of any other moment.
I can give you the other.
What was that?
Petrovic penalty heroics against Newcastle.
Oh,
and
that was
we were both
good.
Were you at that game?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. We actually played shit.
Yeah, we did.
We were pretty shit in that game.
I mean,
but then Trippier,
he fucking bottled it. Didn't he?
Fucked it,
mate. It wasn't Trippier. It was Mikhailo Mudrik's brilliance.
Yeah.
He scored some good goals against Newcastle this season, wasn't it? The other one where he went through, took the ball off Conor Gallagher, and then did that beautiful little. He nuts the player, ran through, went round the goalkeeper. That was against Newcastle, I think.
That was against Newcastle.
Yeah. Different game
against Brighton.
No, I think it was a different game. Yeah. Mikhailo Mudrik. He's one of your favourite players.
But I think best moment. It's got to be.
I mean, there's we'll talk about best goals in a second.
Well, listen.
But
because there's a moment or moments that we may have forgot, but I'm glad we did forget them, because funniest moment.
Here we go.
It's happened again. It's happened again. Tottenham Hotspur. It's got to be the 2 wins over Spurs.
That is brilliant, isn't it?
The first one was the. Was the first one better, or was it
the
not?
The first one was better.
Again, like we're speaking about getting wins when we haven't played that well. We didn't play all that well.
I didn't give a
Spurs.
fuck. I didn't give a fuck. Do you know if we're talking about funniest moment, by the way, that Jackson goal against Spurs, where he basically falls over. Do you remember we watched it on the kickoff?
That was one of my favourite kickoffs of the season, mate. We was fucking going for it that day, weren't we?
And Jackson literally does the thing where he wants to pass but doesn't want to pass because it's Mikhailo Mudrik to his left. He doesn't know whether to go around the goal. He doesn't know whether to shoot, so he just does a little he has a bad issue.
Luckily, Vicario just loses his arsehole in that moment, and Jackson rounds him and scores. I think that because of the sort of run of form they were on around that time and Chelsea's inconsistency, I very much think that Postecoglou thought he'd rock up to Stamford Bridge and have a bit of revenge, and I would say we beat them worse.
Yeah.
I would say we beat them way worse.
Convincingly.
They didn't have a sniff. Yeah. Everyone goes on to me about, scared at the start of that second half. I weren't. Pissed out my head. No, but I weren't that scared. I just, all right, they was going to put on a bit of pressure at some point. They're a team that are 4th, 5th in the table, you know what I mean? So I thought we completely outplayed them. Would that be funniest moment
That
for
was
you?
that was a 5-0, 2-0, that was.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? The other funniest moment, I have to say, it might not be one that you remember, but Levi Colwill against Brighton, the goal, do you remember it? It was a header. I think it was Buddy Shield does the overhead kick. Do you remember this? And then the funniest part of this was...
3-2.
Yeah. The funniest part of this was Colwill scores the header, doesn't quite know if it goes over the line. He isn't celebrating. The Sussy then hits it into the side of the goal. Then it gets given. Colwill runs as fast as he can over to the Brighton fans, giving it, celebrating. I think it was one of the first goals he's ever scored for Chelsea, by the way.
Why were they booing him?
Well, no, but listen to it. But then he realises he's going over to Brighton. He's got the connection with Brighton. He stopped celebrating. Do you not remember this? So he was going like, get in, and then he just went, and you can see the actual thought process of it. I thought that was a really funny little moment.
Doesn't seem to bother Caicedo or Cucurella though, do they? I
They were giving it the old...
loved it, mate, when they was getting booed left, right, and centre. The worst one is in that game, against Brighton, the latest one. You remember who else was getting booed?
Who else was it?
Gallagher.
Why was he getting booed? Because Palace...
As a result of the most pathetic rivalry in football. I'm putting it out there now. That rivalry, or what's it called?
Derby.
The
M62 or something, is it? I don't even know what that is.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
No, we're not giving you that. That's like us being like, Chelsea against fucking Reading is a real... No, mate. It's not fucking nowhere near
I do like beating Reading, though, to be fair.
After what they did to Peter Cech. And again, in later years, I'm starting to warm to that. I don't really mind it as much. Right, okay. Moving on to a big one now.
Oh, there's quite a few here.
Best
goal.
This. Do you remember the best goal you've ever
each
scored?
other's sandwiches.
Sentences,
oh.
Mrs. I'm joking.
Again,
Seriously.
you're not meant to tell them these things, for fuck's sake.
Honestly, me castle, you castle. Make yourself at home. What's the best goal you've ever scored?
Best goal I've ever scored in my footballing career. It was a muddy old pitch in the middle of nowhere, council estate actually. I get the ball on the right hand side. I'm left footed. I cut inside on my left hand side. I'm probably 35 yards out, and I've hit it pouring rain so that I can't even fucking see anything. It's looped up, dipped a little bit at the end, and gone in the top left hand corner.
Nice. Top
Best goal I think I've ever scored.
Lovely.
Yours?
Probably year 6 school fete. Right.
Were you wearing school shoes?
I think I would have been in a pair of Total 90s, to be honest. Yeah.
The best football boot there's ever been. Fuck the Predators.
Yeah. And then when it got time for the game, I'd have changed into my actual football shoes rather than like my smart sort of going out, funerals and weddings shoes. You know what I mean?
Mate, Total 90s were some of my
Hoping
favourite.
an old relative will pop their clogs so I can get the old Total 90s on for the funeral.
You were always prepared.
Yeah. At all times. At all times. Best goal I scored, year 6 school fete. Ball comes in and it's gone behind me. I've gone too far, so I can't header it. So now I'm going to have to turn. Bomb. Back heel. I was so flexible. The ball's gone behind me, and I've I can't really show them on camera, but I've gone whom, like that with the foot.
We charge extra for those feet.
Top corner. It's fucking brilliant. I still talk about it now all the time. I always say to the boys, I'm like, do you remember that goal at the fete? And they're like, well, we remember you telling the story over and over again, but we don't remember the goal. And I'm like, well, you know.
If only we lived in the era of smartphones, because I wish this was caught on camera.
Mate.
Maybe we would have been scouted for Chelsea if it had been.
I have got one caught on camera. I got a penalty I took in Malia. His goalkeeper reckons that no one could score penalties against me. I had to get 3 in a row against him. You get a bottle of champagne.
Did you do it?
Did I do it? Don't ask silly questions, Josh. For fuck's sake, of course I did it. But it's not about me.
You tried to make it about you.
I tried as hard as I could. We're on about the best goal of the season. Right, let's give some honourable mentions because I think there's a head and shoulders goal above all of them.
Okay, right. So, for me, Mudryk versus Arsenal.
Are you serious? He didn't even mean it.
He did mean it. Mate, he was said, do you know what's funny?
Mudryk versus Forest
Mate,
was decent.
Fuck off. I don't give a shit about Mudryk versus Forest. Against Arsenal, you know how much that game meant. Raya was off his line. Before the game, they said to the boys, Raya always goes off his line. Mudryk said that in the press conference afterwards. Remember that?
Oh, there you go.
And he meant it. Left-hand side picks the ball up, top bins.
Well, if he did mean it, it would be in the top 3.
Okay.
But I just cannot give you it. I do not think he meant it.
Yeah, he definitely
Right.
did. What about Nkunku versus Liverpool?
That was a great goal.
He basically beats, 5 players? He has
Yep.
to juke in and out of them.
Yeah.
Wonderful finish.
And if you're going to beat 5, you'd rather beat him over a long distance. He beat 5 in a fucking
Yeah.
post box,
He
mate.
did.
Like, he
What a
was...
player.
Phone box, I think it is.
Yeah. Either or.
I'll give you a
Both
few.
are quite small.
Yeah.
Both reds.
What are we talking about now? I'll give you a few that aren't going to be top 3,
Come.
but very good goals. Who scored the goal against Burnley? Was it Burnley, the match me and you went to? Was it Sterling that scored that?
I'm trying to think of the goal that you're talking about.
Palmer, when he back heels it. I'm not on about the Chukwuemeka one.
I can't picture this.
It might
goal.
have been... Yeah, we
This
was at the
game
match.
is so shit,
Me and
though.
you was at the game. It was a
but
well good
it's,
goal.
It's Burnley, though.
All right,
isn't it?
I'll leave that one. Carney Chukwuemeka against Leicester. Great goal.
Colin Chukwuemeka against Leicester was great. Was it Madueke against Leicester as well? Scored a wonderful goal.
But yeah, I mean, it looked like a deflection on it, but then it didn't, did it?
I mean, it was a ridiculous goal. That was a good one. Again, easier opposition. What about this one? I've got one for you. What about Carney? Take your mind all the way back to the start of the season against West Ham.
Loved that goal.
Mate, he was so
Little
good.
shimmy and a wriggle.
And the curl as well. The curl was ridiculous
Great
on that
goal.
one.
Great goal.
Any others?
Yeah, I've got others.
You got to have a Cole Palmer one in here.
Favourite Cole Palmer goal of the season. Do you know what goal I loved?
Come on.
Criminally underrated goal. It might be because there was a shit goalie between the sticks, but away at Old Trafford, the P roller.
Oh,
goal.
yes. Where he slots it basically right hand side, didn't he? Slot it from left foot, right hand side, yeah.
Are we including set pieces in these goals?
Yes, the Sterling free kick against
Sterling,
Newcastle.
Enzo
Yeah.
against Villa.
Mate, the Enzo Palace goal I loved as well. Do you remember where he sits down the defender, takes about 3 different shots, fakes? I thought that was good. For me, the Palmer one has to be Everton, where he nuts the player, then shoots. Brilliant goal. I also loved the goal he scored when he lobbed Pickford in that game.
That was a good goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good goal. I'm just trying to think if there's any others that would be goal. There's going to be, you lot are going to be in the comments now telling us what idiots we are because we've like criminally missed one.
I watched all of the goals last night, and for me, those were the ones that stuck out as being
Apart from the goal of the season.
apart from the one.
We know
For me, it's got to be Caicedo.
It's Caicedo,
Like that lob. First of all, Sterling bottles it. Can we just say that? Sterling bottles the challenge. He should have gone
challenge, yeah.
through, should have scored, didn't. Keeper then puts it out. And
You know how it sort of drops to Gallagher before it comes to Caicedo? Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't drop to him, but Gallagher's the one that forces it there. Who would you have rather it dropped to? Hindsight's a beautiful thing. But
I'm not going to lie, I would say Caicedo.
I was in the stands. I was supremely confident when that dropped to Caicedo.
Right, we have to talk about the technique of this goal. And this is why this goal is the goal of the season. It is so have you ever tried to do a halfway challenge where you try to hit the crossbar? Have you ever tried to do that crossbar challenge?
Oh, yeah.
Like, mate, trying to do that is not easy. In fact, there's a moment here. You're gonna have to try and find this. Do you remember the Soccer AM one? Mido does it. Do you remember Mido?
I remember Mido. I was at White Hart Lane when he got a brace
There you
against
go.
us. Yeah.
Mido does it, and bear in mind he was a top striker, meant to be really good technique on the ball. I mean, top striker, we can argue, but a striker. And he fucking smacks it about 60 yards wide of the goal. And I'm just sat there thinking...
I do remember that. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on Chelsea's one, Ashley Cole hit the bar.
Yes,
I think.
I think Frank was miles off it as well. And I remember JT like taking it really seriously. I don't think he did
didn't
that
slip,
well.
did he?
Yeah. Oh, we love you, JT,
We love you.
so much. But yeah, I think the technique that he did, he hit it hard, but it couldn't have been like more perfect. He beats the keeper, and then there's also a defender on the line, or sort of someone going back, mate. And the noises I was making. They were
It's a great
ridiculous.
goal.
It
That was an unreal goal. I tell you what else is a fucking great goal.
Yeah.
His other one
Yes.
versus Tottenham
Yes,
that they
got
ruled out.
disallowed.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Put his foot through that, didn't he?
Do you remember the VAR of that, by the way? That was a joke.
Yeah. Oh, we can't give the goal, but we're going to give you a penalty. You might as well have given us the goal.
Yeah, I would
You know
have
what I
taken
mean?
the goal.
Might as well have given us the goal.
Fuck VAR.
Let's move on to best signing.
I mean, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So it's Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Barring
If it's
Cole Palmer,
not-
best signing. And
and
I'm going to tell you something.
has
Here,
to
you
be
can't
this
pick,
summer.
I'm not saying you were going to. Not saying you were going to do it, but you can't pick Malo Gusto here. Because he was a pre-agreement. You can't can't pick Nkunku.
I've got an easy one. It's Nicholas Jackson.
It's Nicholas Jackson.
Why is it Nicholas Jackson?
Because Nicholas Jackson is God.
Yeah. Because also we paid how much for him?
Oh, it's like 32 million. Or
Basically
something,
50p for a week here.
32 million. If you came to me and said, "Oh, Joey, I got your brand deal, 32 million," I'd have said, "You fucking joking?
Fuck off!
Come
I'm
to
not
me
going
with
to
that
take
shit."
it. Yeah. But if you do want a brand deal, the email is in the description.
I mean, look, right? What would get you Ivan Toney? 50 mil?
I think he wanted more, but yeah, let's say 50
50,
odd mil.
60?
Yeah, 50 odd.
Who'd you rather have? Ivan Toney or Nicholas Jackson?
Mate, that's a piss easy question. I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Nicholas Jackson or Dom Solanke?
Nicholas Jackson.
I've got another one for you. Would you rather have Nicholas Jackson or Son?
Nicholas Jackson. There's one that I was thinking there. If you could be fit and available for every game, would you rather have Nicholas Jackson or, and you'll laugh when I initially say this, but goal return, mate, Nicholas Jackson or Callum Wilson, fit and available for every game?
I'd rather have Nicholas Jackson.
I'd
personally.
rather have Nicholas Jackson,
But I'd like to have Wilson on the bench.
yeah.
I'd like him to
Yeah.
be able to come on. He's a bags man. He gets goals.
No.
He's never going to play for Newcastle again, though.
Let's move on. So you came up with this category for me, right?
Yeah,
Most missed.
I do miss him.
Explain most missed. What you?
I would go most missed in terms of the injured players that we've missed this season.
Okay.
And who would you say your most missed is?
Injured players that we've missed the most this season. Do you know? I'm just going to really sound like I'm licking his arse here. But if I'm being honest, do you know who I think we missed the most?
Are you going to say Carney?
I'm going to say Trevor Chalobah.
Fucking hell, mate. He played.
Yeah, I know, but
He played a lot of the season.
He missed 18 odd games
Yeah,
or
he did,
something,
he
mate.
did.
That's a lot. And when you look at our form from when he came back into the side onwards, I'm not saying it was all down to Trev, but it makes you think, oh, could a couple of those losses
They
been
were
draws?
dross. They were dross.
dross, yeah. Could a couple of those losses been draws? Could a couple of those draws been wins? I don't know.
Mate, unbeaten. That's all
Yeah.
I'm going to say. Just fucking leave it at that. Trev is unbeaten.
Trevor Audrey. But if it... look,
Who did we need the most this season?
I'm not sure if we needed him, but it's Reece. It's Reece. I tell you what, the other one, the comments aren't going to like this, and I don't even know if you'll like this, but Lavia.
No, I like Lavia as an option. For me,
Mate,
the options...
we didn't spend 60 mil on him for him to not play, did we?
No, the ones for me were Wes,
Yeah.
Nkunku, and Lavia. And I think if you
Nkunku
think...
probably is the actual answer, by the way.
Nkunku could be the answer, but think about it as well. We conceded a fuckload of goals this season. Maybe would we have been better off with a Trev or a Wes
So who
or a
would
Reece?
who would you say we miss more out of Trevor Chalobah and Fofana then?
Fofana.
Yeah, okay.
Because, mate, I mean, we spent 80 million on
So
him
you
for
saying
a
you
reason.
didn't miss Sanchez when he got injured?
Oh, mate, fuck it, I still miss him now. I think about him every night.
So you saying you didn't miss Sterling when he got ill? What happened there? He got ill, didn't he, or something?
I honestly don't care.
Oh, God.
Honestly, like, he could be ill for the entire season. I wouldn't think about him once.
You wouldn't make a very good nurse, mate. You don't care about people when they're ill. Fucking hell. You got Florence Nightingale over here and fucking Lucy Letby over there.
I was waiting to see who you were going to go for. Which serial killer
What's
you were
the
going to
other
go
one?
for
Was
there.
that- there was
Wasn't
killer-
there a nurse that killed people?
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
we just
what,
go for
Lucy
Shipman?
Letby?
Should we just go for Shipman?
Shipman, that's who I'm thinking of. Harold Shipman, yeah. Yeah, weirdo.
That's dark, that is. We got to a dark place.
Yeah, oh, I'm a Chelsea fan. I've been there before.
God.
Biggest idiot.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Like a fun one? Can we say for this is Alfie Gilchrist? Do you remember when Alfie came on for the first time and he sort of does those like challenges that you just do in the park on a Sunday afternoon?
That was like early introduction to
Yeah.
Alfie Gilchrist.
I mean that in a loving
was
way.
that against Palace at home, maybe?
I can't think of the game.
Or Luton away? No, he started at Luton away, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with the obvious. It's the board.
Yeah, I mean Todd Bowley. Yeah, Todd Bowley.
I don't. Part of me is like, I don't even know if it is Bowley.
Fair enough.
But that wasn't this season. That was the season.
What were you going to say?
Bowley when he said we were going to beat Madrid 3-0. You fucking plonker, mate.
You idiot. I've got another one if it wasn't the board.
Go on.
The Sanchez pass, the assist to Rice. That was so bad.
Huge for momentum to go and get a win over Arsenal.
Yeah.
Probably means that title race don't go down to the final day of the season. And also, when you look at the goal difference, those 3 points, it's a 5th place finish.
It is, yeah.
And do you know what?
And it would have been Champions League football if it wasn't for Arsenal.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that win could have given Arsenal a bit of a rocket up their arse and maybe,
Sliding doors.
Got them going further in the Champions League, we would have got that 5th place finish. So
if we finished 5th and we still would have got the Champions League, Pochettino would still be the manager.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah,
so it's actually Sanchez's fault.
Look at that.
Oh, God, don't give them any branding.
Podcast room.
They don't deserve it.
Hit them up. Hit them up. Podcast room in Barnes. Have you got any other categories or is that a stunt?
The only other one that I wanted to potentially talk about is biggest flop, but I feel like we've covered that, haven't we? We've kind of covered that.
Yeah, because we got least improved. But out of the signings we made,
yeah,
biggest flop. Do you know who a lot of people would say?
Ente.
No, well, he was already there, wasn't he? He wasn't this season. People will say, I'm not saying I'm saying this. And I've used this analogy time in, time out when I've said, Rudiger didn't have a stellar first season, but Disasi?
I think for the price tag as well, I'm really concerned. And especially when you're talking about selling Trev.
But then he is a bit of a physical specimen. A bit of one.
Do you know what I love about Disasi is he definitely cares. And mate, do you know what I'd give Disasi another 8-year contract for? Was that celebration against Palace?
Yep.
Honestly,
that was good. Done that twice, though, didn't he? Done it against Palace and done it against Villa, only for the goals being ruled out.
I rate it. I rate that.
I wouldn't call Disasi the flop. I think if you're going on any of them, 25 mil, would you call him a flop? I don't know. Maybe Robert Sanchez.
Yeah.
Anyone brought in that's like... is it really harsh if I say someone like David Washington?
Yeah, because he is actually quite good for the under-21s. He's been doing all right for them. I think we got a lot of banter about that other one, the right winger. I always forget his fucking name, the Portuguese guy.
Moreira.
Yeah.
I got inbox messages about him.
Yeah, people were fuming.
Yeah. Why?
People were because he's been tearing it up in the under-21s, and that makes him a player ready to go in the first team.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how he gets on next season.
All right. Loan him to Ipswich.
The only other one that I had for you, quick one before we go, is best team we played against.
That's a good one. And people will wanna go Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because of obviously the 5-0 and them playing us off the park, but I ain't gonna go with them. I'm not gonna go with them. Oh, bro, realistically, you'd have to say Wolves.
Because they've done us home and away. Yeah.
Who done us home and away?
Don't think many other teams did do us home and away. We obviously got the 2 draws against City. I'm thinking of the big teams.
No. Yeah, but regardless of the big teams, none of the big teams done the double over us.
No, that's what I mean. I don't think any of them did.
And even the other teams, I don't think that.
No, I think we have to go for them. Do you know who I was impressed by?
I think we have to give it to Wolves then.
I think we do. I'll tell you who I was impressed by, and we mentioned it earlier on. I was very impressed by Leeds when we played them.
Yeah, Leeds were
I'm not saying they're the best team, but I was surprised actually by them. Thought they were better than they thought.
Borough in the 1-0. Nah, we smashed them.
Leicester actually in that game that we played them, they were all right.
I didn't think they were that good.
There you go. We were just shit.
Good. I think it's Wolves. I think it is. People, let us know your thoughts on all of the awards, all the categories, who you think should have been crowned the winner of each individual category. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to Josh's channel. It is linked in the description, and we will see you all in the next one.